So now, Kenny, are you changing your training regimen in any way, shape, or form? I mean, you saw GSP basically dismantle him with the use of Vaseline. So now,
come on, man. That's,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
You saw him basically, completely control him from beginning to end. Have you talked to GSP about it or his camp? Have you guys worked together at all?
There is talk that you're going to go up to Canada and train with GSP. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to do that. It looks like I'm going to be able to do it in April, so I just need to kind of finalize the details and get my schedule worked out so I can go ahead and do that. And I'm hoping that we'll make it happen. I've been wanting to train with GSP for a long time, actually for a few years now. So finally get a chance to do it and then train with some of the guys in his camp and his coaches and things. Always good to go get a different perspective and train with new people.
You have a reputation as being an incredibly hard worker, and you're not like Shane Carwin or one of these monsters who's just born with these crazy gifts. You just work your ass off and have become this kind of fighter. Is that something like that you take a lot of pride in? Like that you're more of a scientist as well? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I think work ethic is everything in life. Whatever kind of shortfalls you may have, you can make it up with hard work. Hard work, always beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and that's the key. I think is I have a little bit of talent, but a lot of work ethic.
Well, you have a lot of talent now, but through hard work, you've built that talent, right?
Yeah, I think so. And it's just it comes down to really loving what you do. I don't really consider it work so much all the time. I love going to the gym, so it's not really an issue. I love learning, and that's what it's about.
Go
Sorry,
on.
I was just gonna say, Kenny. In all the fights that I've seen you in, and when you fought Huerta and then you fought Stevenson, I never really saw you as being rated as like the favorite. You always seem to kind of be coming in as the underdog. It looks like you'll have that position as well against BJ Penn, just because he's got such a legacy in the lightweight category. How do you take that?
See,
do you use that as a motivator?
I think he was so the favorite against Stevenson, but yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I've kind of built that reputation basically because I don't really go out and do a lot of talking. I kind of just stay quiet and go out and do my thing and go back to work the next day. Really, I don't really try to hype myself up or really hype the fight up too much. I just try to go out there and get the job done. And I'm not an intimidating guy, as you guys mentioned. I'm not a big guy. I'm not going to be the monster out there. And for whatever reason, people see me as that underdog. So I'm happy with that. I've been both the underdog and the favorite. I'm happy with both roles. At the end of the day, you have to go out there and prove it. In the cage, and so whether you're a favorite or underdog, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and I see it as, and I don't mean it as like the numbers, meaning that you might be minus 220 or plus this or that for odds makers. What I mean is just that you're not the largest guy in the world. There are 155ers that look a lot bigger than you. There are some guys that are known for being that's the Greco-Roman wrestler. That guy's got really great this or that guy's got really great that. You just seem to have a really good blend of everything, and it just seems as though your hard work's really paying off. But I think my question now is just what are you going to do to disassemble BJ Penn when it comes to time to facing him?
It's time for you to take this belt now. So how do you step up? Like, what do you do next? Like, how do you turn that corner and make it authoritative?
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm excited with the opportunity. Finally, this is my second shot now, and I don't feel like I have to get it done now. This is my last chance. I see it.
Not at all. You're young, man.
Phenomenal opportunity to fight a great fighter and a guy like BJ Penn, who this is what I want. Before fame or money or a fancy belt is the opportunity to show your skills against the best in the world, and everyone considers BJ Penn the best 155 pounder. So for me, it's about testing my skills, and I feel that my skills are right up there with anyone in the world, and I have to go out there and prove it. And it's about breaking down BJ Penn's game and finding those little weaknesses that hopefully I can expose.
Now, and then with that, I was just going to say, sorry, Robin, I'll let you get the next one. But I was just going to say, with that, when you're facing BJ, he's just got really good stand up. He tends to be a lot quicker.
He's a nice boxer.
Yeah, he's got great hands, and he's got a great ground game, especially when he's on his back. So
Yeah, but you know what? These are things that people have said about BJ for a long time.
I've seen it.
He hasn't submitted anyone off his back for a long time.
That's true.
And these are things that we've assumed. Guys get better every couple of months. We've seen Kenny Florian. We've seen all these guys improve. BJ hasn't necessarily improved his jiu-jitsu.
I would agree with you on that, and that's just because when you saw him first fight GSP when their first fight, that was a pretty close fight.
Yeah.
And it was and people were debating as to which way it went. There was no argument this next time. GSP has just improved so much, and I'm sure you've improved significantly, Kenny.
Yep.
Over the last little while. So what do you say when people say I don't know if you can do it because BJ's he's rated in the top pound for pound, and does that even factor in for you? Do you care about your legacy, about how you might be rated in pound for pound and all the rest of it? Coming out of that fight with BJ.
Definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what we're all here for is to really leave a legacy in whatever we do. Whether it's in sport or for our kids or whatever, for our family, and I think it's a great opportunity. That's why. Fighting at BJ Penn holds so much more value for me than fighting, say someone else who hasn't established that legendary status. And BJ Penn, there's no doubt about it. He does a lot of things great. He's very, very dangerous, and maybe he's better than me today. But I say this a lot. There's maybe a lot of better 155ers out there, but not on fight night. That's when it counts. When it counts, when it comes down to it, and when everything's on the line. That's where I'm going to prove that I'm better. So they can be better any day of the week except on fight night. That's
nice.
it. And that's where I'm going to get it done.
I have two questions sort of training related. One of them is when you're somebody that is that driven and you're improving your Thai, you're improving your wrestling, you're improving your boxing, you do crazy strength and conditioning with Coach Kearns, who we actually have on the show later. What do you do to ensure that you're not overtrained? Have you been a victim of overtraining? Does this ever happen to you? And what do you do to prevent it?
It's a delicate process, man. It really is. I think a lot of it's just listening to your body. I have a tendency of kind of overdoing it many times. Luckily, I have my brother who has known me since the beginning of training, and he'll know and see it if I'm doing too much, if I'm doing too little. Kevin Kearns is phenomenal at knowing if I'm training too hard or too little, whatever it is. They really know me best. They know me better than I do. I'll just let's go train. I want to go in there and beat myself up or whatever and go harder than I should. And
have you before? Have you overtrained?
About watching me, all my trainers really are.
But have you fall into overtraining syndrome? Have you been had a problem with that ever before?
I have actually. Before the Dean Thomas fight, I actually got the call. I think with a month's notice or a month and a week's notice. And I started going hard right off the bat to kind of get in shape, and I pushed it a little too hard, too fast. And was peaking a little too early, and I knew it. And I just had to take a few days off. And Coach Kearns actually went and bought me a Wii as a gift. I was like, "Whoa, thanks, man!" And went and bought me a Wii, and I went and played video games for a few days, something I haven't done in years.
Nice.
Played video games for a few days, took some time off, and then went right back to training and felt phenomenal. I almost felt guilty taking time off, but it was exactly what I needed, and luckily I still felt good and peaked properly for the fight.
Cool.
Hey, now, Kenny, usually a certain percentage of our show is devoted to talking smack, but you don't strike me as a guy who's going to fall, prey to talking smack towards BJ, so we won't ask you to do that. But do you have any stories? I recently, by the way, saw you choke out a chick on the internet in one of your training seminars. Is that part of your regimen? Do you usually choke out 3-4 girls a week, or how does that work for you?
It makes me feel like a real man, to be honest. I kind of, when I'm feeling low, my ego needs a little boost, I'll grab some chicks to roll with and choke them out, maybe crack a few arms.
Right.
I did an interview with I think it's Joanne. Was that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, the one that couldn't breathe, and
so
she was coughing a lot afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't choke her out like Mark Lehman did, but I gave her a good choke. So.
Dude, it looked like you choked her out. She couldn't speak for about 30 seconds afterwards. She just kept coughing.
Yeah.
So, and then is that your dating regimen? You choke a chick out, and then you kind of say, "Hey, look, let me spend some time with you, making you feel better."
Gaga for chokes. I get them every time.